Welcome to Purple Pond YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about an interesting asset class. Everyone likes it. Everyone wants to hold it. Gold. Gold is an investment asset class. Before getting into the investment arguments on gold, let us understand what drives gold prices and what are the factors which influence the gold price rise. 2020 will be remembered by all the investors not only for pandemic, not only for COVID crisis, it will also be remembered as a year where gold corrected by 20% from the peak prices. So let's understand what the gold is capable of doing to your portfolio. The graph that you see, you will be surprised. It is not a graph of Sensex or Nifty. It is a graph of gold prices. Yes, gold prices do vary. Gold prices are also volatile. Gold as an investment asset class is very volatile, and you had continued years of negative performance or flat performance, and there has been a peak performance like 2019 and 20. So when you are saying the gold can also be volatile, then why are we not treating that equivalent to equity as an asset class? Because we have an emotional attachment gold, and the price fluctuation in gold does not bother us. Otherwise, if you look at it, gold and equity do vary in price. And make no mistake, gold can give you negative returns. If someone has invested in 2020 January, he would be sitting with roughly 20% loss on his investment on gold. So these are all certain popular myths that an investment into gold cannot go down on value. You have a number of years where gold has given negative returns. Gold has also given higher returns, and a long-term average on gold investment is almost somewhere around 50 years average. They talk about 11%. When you talk about a 50 years average, it is almost equivalent to the returns generated by the equity market. It is very close to the returns generated by equity market on a longer time frames. Okay, why do people invest into gold? People popularly believe that gold prices are best hedge against the inflationary trends. Your money loses the purchasing power, but the gold retains the purchasing power. This is the one solid reason for which we have seen in ages that people try to retain the purchasing power of their wealth by investing into gold. Let's look at where does the demand for gold come from. Gold, as you all know, is the one among a few chemical substances which is not economically viable to synthesize. So gold is still mined, and you know the limitations of gold mining. So the supply side constraints are always there. Now let's look at the demand side. Where are the demand arising from for gold? Gold demand, first and foremost, the largest holders of gold are the central banks of various nations. Why do central banks buy gold? That the currency is pegged against the gold. Gold is the storehouse of value. So central banks do purchase gold. They have reserves in terms of gold. Then comes industrial use of gold. Some gold tipped semiconductors. There are some gold tipped junction points which are very sharp, which can have the conductivity at the peak rate. So the technology requirement or the industrial requirement of gold, demand of gold, is roughly around 7%. The central banks constitute somewhere close to 20-25% of the gold demand. Then there are two other demands which are the most important demands which drive the price of gold. One is the investment demand. People have started looking gold as a investment asset class, and the past 2 decades, the gold has found place in all long-term portfolios, be it a pension fund or be it a sovereign fund which invests the money outside the country. So gold has become a portfolio diversifier. So there is an investment demand. Now coming to the last but not the least, or the most important demand, which comes from gold ornaments. Gold ornaments are one of the drivers which drive gold demand. Now let's look at what are the forms in which you will be able to invest into gold. If you look at it, very popular way of investing into gold is buying an ornament, and we all believe buying gold coins and biscuits are the best way to invest into gold. So I don't have to elaborate, or I don't have to tell you what are the problems of buying the gold as ornament or the coins or biscuits. To just touch upon the disadvantages of investing into gold in terms of ornaments, when you're purchasing gold in the form of an ornament, you will be losing somewhere close to 20 to 25% of your value as making charges and wastages. This is in case of ornaments. In case of gold coins and bars, the difficulty. You will have to go back to the same jeweler, and worst of it all, if you have bought the gold coins from bank, because bank don't have the wherewithal to repurchase your gold coins, you will have to go to the jewelers, and jewelers always take those coins at a discount. So these are all certain disadvantages which are surrounding the investment into gold when you want to invest it in terms of ornaments or gold coins. The next immediate question which strikes me is, people are going to ask me, Saravanan, I have a daughter of 2 years, and you mean I will not be giving her a gift during her marriage? Yeah, you will have to accumulate gold. That's an emotional value attached to all mothers and all the parents, and you will have to make room for gifting gold. And there are smarter ways of accumulating gold, which we will discuss. The point here is, for a 2-year or 5-year daughter, if you are trying to take ornaments, look at a situation when she becomes 20, 25 and says, Papa, I don't like this design. You will have to redo it. Redoing of that ornament again will cost you 20-25% of your capital value. So it is always better to hold gold as an electronic form and convert into ornament whenever you require it to be gifted.